Just because you're staying close to home doesn't mean that you can't be creative about where you're getting married. Today's bride is a huge fan of skiing, so she just loved the idea of getting married here at Ski Round Top. Coming right up on Dream Weddings. What makes a dream wedding? Some brides think that dream weddings only happen in big cities or exotic beach locations. But that's not true. Dream weddings happen every weekend in small towns all over America. It takes good planning, attention to detail, and having your very own dream team in place. Stay tuned and I'll show you how it's done. You know that picking our dream weddings couple is really hard, but we get so many inquiries from brides that have great plans.
Yeah, but it's more than just the wedding plans. It's also the couple's story, and is our audience going to care about them?
Tracy, you're right, and that's why Charrell and Jermaine are very interesting, and they have a great wedding.
I'm a physician. I'm a NICU doctor, so I guess the formal title is neonatologist. I'm at Pinnacle up in Harrisburg.
Okay. Been in the military going on 20 years now, so I'm there now retraining, and on the civilian side, I decided to go back to school and finish my bachelor's degree in accounting, so I'm a junior, at Penn State Harrisburg.
We grew up together. His sister is my best friend. I was raised an only child. I didn't have anybody to play with, and I got tired of talking to my imaginary friends. After school, since they were, right down the street from my house, I used to go over there and hang out with them because for 18 years, she was the only girl. Jermaine being the oldest, he was kind of always the protector, and he went into the military, he was away. Life goes on, and Jermaine gets married, and that didn't work out. This past New Year's, we were over one of his younger brother's house, because it's the holidays, and that's what we do. We spend holidays together. Yes. And we were drinking a little bit, a lot. And Jermaine, is always the quiet guy. He makes a pass, and I'm like, what?
The drink.
Right, exactly. Like they say, what is it, liquor courage? He asked for my phone number that night, and I said, no. So I said, if you're really serious, I said, tomorrow when you're sober, you ask your mother or my sister for your phone number. So he asked his mother. I
basically said, Mom, could I have Charrell's number? She's like, for what?
So he calls, and I see the phone ring. I was like, oh, shoot. I'm like, he's really serious.
Calling your bluff.
And
right.
She did not answer.
And I answered. So I called him really, really late. It's gonna be like 5-minute conversation, you can't really talk about anything, maybe we won't go anywhere. So I think I called you probably like 9:30, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock at night.
And we were on the phone for a while.
Oh, 4 hours.
4 hours?
Yeah. I was like, well, how do we do this? We had to, explore the romantic side and see if the sparks were there in the connection, so,
He proposed 11 months later, but they've known each other for 26 years, so I guess it didn't exactly rush into marriage. I love their story, and they're getting married at a ski resort. I like that idea.
I didn't know Ski Round Top was open in the summer and did weddings.
Yeah.
It'd be kind of fun is if we show the contrast between summer and winter at the resort.
I like that idea.
So would you rather snowboard or ski?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Tracy. More bloopers?
Stay tuned and we'll find out.
Ski Round Top could be a pretty busy place in the winter for skiing, snowboarding, and tubing for the kiddies. My favorite activity is hanging by the lodge with a nice hot chocolate. But when Charrell and Jermaine said their I do's, this place looked very different.
If it is a nice day, hopefully, not too hot, we'll have some tables out here with some linens and some votive candles. So then they're gonna come through here.
Wow.
This whole front area here is gonna act as like the cocktail mingle area.
So cocktail is still gonna be here inside?
It is in the same room, typically just in this area, and then hopefully if it's a nice day, we can incorporate the patio as well. This is a dance floor. You got a great big dance floor, especially since you have so many guests.
Okay, it's around 2 o'clock, okay, and that's when your guests are gonna be arriving in here. Lighting is very crucial for me. So we want to make sure that it looks like an event, not just an open space. If you can do the ceiling lights, turn them off. The sconce lights against the wall,
Yep.
turn them on, please.
Okay.
And then your chandelier.
Okay, and
if
you
it's
want the
okay.
main ceiling lights off.
Yes. Big difference.
Yes.
I love this. If you look from here to here, light, dark. I would like to do some kind of uplighting, and I know you're not. You don't care for uplighting, but if we just do like some kind of white uplighting, if it's a possibility, if you want to, we don't know.
Part of our
you
budget. That's why we didn't.
Okay, you see, that's a difference. There's a difference between saying I don't want it, I don't want it because I don't care for it, or it's not in the budget. Yeah, we need to do something in here.
Agreed.
Yeah, I guess because we were thinking when we chose the location, you know, being mindful of our budget, just trying to think, okay, what stood out and had its own natural beauty that you didn't have to add to. Because, you know, some places, like you said, you really have to decorate and add a lot to it, and of course that adds to the budget.
In Charrell, that is 100% correct. We just need to find out how we're gonna break the budget to make your wedding come true.
It is a ski resort, and I ski, and Jermaine's willing to learn. So it's nice because I think that we'll be coming back. So it's nice to have those memories.
Besides wedding, during the summer, do you have any other events?
Oh yeah, there's always something going on here. But over the summer we do mountain adventure activities, and we do the ropes course, and we do paintball. We have kids summer camps here. In addition to all that, we do have the vertical trek, and which is the zip lining. And then we do, of course, the private events and the weddings.
You chose Ski Round Top not just because of the location,
Yes.
but also because it's run by Outland House, which they have great food.
We offer 3 main packages for weddings. They can customize them as much as they want, and they're having a roasted New York strip loin and a bourbon glazed salmon. They are also having a traditional wedding cake for dessert. We subcontracted that special for you.
Just like one-stop shop.
And the shop?
Yeah, really. And you're having a chocolate fountain with some different dippers. So that'll be put out after the cake's cut, and the guests will be able to enjoy that the rest of the night. She's really paying one price, and she's getting all of that.
That's great. So we have this great venue, but I love the outdoor, and it's not being utilized properly. I want to find out how we can actually make this more useful for all 230 guests. Because guess what? Look at all this. There's a lot of space, and I definitely want to use this. Especially this. This is my favorite part. We have so many kids. You know, we're gonna have a chocolate fountain outside. Why can't we do s'mores? Diana, the inside is great, but I love this.
Yes.
There's a lot of space in here that is not being utilized. What can we do to make this more useful for all their guests and for Charrell and Jermaine?
Well, for starters, if we have some tables set up out here with nice linens and some cocktail tables for people to stand around, we'll be passing hors d'oeuvres. Maybe after dinner, we could talk about using the fire pit and having that lit and be like an attraction for the kids, I guess.
What about, can we do some s'mores for them?
Absolutely, yeah.
Now, what about this space? What is that for?
That is called the pit. It's used over ski season. Typically, they serve alcohol and things like that from that building. Right now it is being used as a storage area. However, we have in the past used it as a bar.
Let's see what we can do.
Yep.
Let me know, and then you guys can display your alcohol in
Yep.
there or anything like that.
Yep.
Let's use this space, you
Okay.
know? And then tables around, whatever,
Yep.
and then the pit for sure. That is
Yeah,
a must.
absolutely.
So you have an arbor?
We do.
Can we borrow?
Absolutely.
For this one in here?
Absolutely.
But it would be great for pictures, I mean,
Right.
even for their guests if they want to stay in the middle.
Right. There's a lot of things you can do here at Round Top that you can't do other places.
Such as?
Such as taking a lift ride to the top of the mountain and getting your picture on a lift. It's stunning, and it's something that you can't do just anywhere.
Wait, so we're gonna do this for this bride and groom?
We could talk about doing it. It'll be open.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Let's surprise them.
So after hearing about all the fun activities at Ski Round Top, we just knew we had to check them out. There was rope climbing, zip lining, and paintball. I bet there's even more fun with ammo. And my personal favorite, the OGO. Ski Roundup is one of only 3 places in the US where you can jump in a big plastic ball filled with ice-cold water and get hurled down the mountain. Not surprisingly, it was invented by Australians. It was awesome.
Is this the first time for most of your guests coming to this area, Central PA?
That's correct.
You're originally from Philadelphia,
Right.
both of you.
Yes.
You know, you grew up in there.
Yes.
So my first question when I first met you was like, why didn't you do it in Philadelphia?
Right.
And your response was?
It was expensive. And, you know, it's expensive. And then as far as the beauty of Philadelphia, it wouldn't be Philadelphia. You're going to be going out into the surrounding counties and places that have nothing necessarily to do with Philadelphia. So it's like, well, let's do it where we are now. So hence, Central PA.
That'd be also a great idea for your guests. Talk to Diana and see what activities are that weekend, so you can actually give them an itinerary of the events for Ski Roundup, what's going on that weekend. Are there going to be any kids at the wedding?
There are going to be children at the wedding, yes.
About how many?
We have 14 children. Well, actually, we have 14 young children, and then we also have a couple adolescents.
Okay, that's a lot.
Yes.
What about your daughter, Jermaine?
Well, my daughter, her name is Sadima, and she's 6 years old.
6?
Yes, yes. And she's gonna be the flower girl at the wedding, and she's gonna be part of the father-daughter dance as well. We're gonna be dancing to Stevie Wonder. Isn't she lovely?
Oh, that's really cute. Do we have somebody who's going to be taking care of her that day?
Well, quite a few people. I have 6 other brothers and sisters, and they have children as well. So she's gonna have plenty of cousins to play with. She loves her Aunt Ariel, and she's gonna be probably stuck to her like glue that day.
Are you doing any special traditions or customs at the wedding?
We are. We're going to be jumping the broom at our ceremony. I have family members who were in slavery in the U.S. I think about 3 generations before me, and then also with Jermaine's family being from the West Indies, there were many slaves there as well. So we would definitely want to incorporate that since that's a part of our history. As well, we're also going to do the tasting of the elements at our reception. So that's a Yoruba custom. So that's comes from spirituality and some of the African culture where there is a palette that you have with 4 flavors. So this makes you reflect on the seriousness of marriage and the fact that marriage is not always perfect and there are ups and downs.
That is beautiful. I'm glad you're sharing that with me and with our audience.
So I heard of jumping the broom, but only because of the movie by that name. I've never heard of the tasting the 4 elements. I wonder what other customs there are.
See, these customs were African customs modified during slavery and during our experience here. There are also some other customs that are very, very interesting. One is exchanging cola nuts in the parts of Africa where there is a lot of cola nuts. And you exchange cola nuts to represent fertility. I do have something else that's an important part of these marriages, and that's cowrie shells. These earrings here, I have on are cowrie shells. And if you may notice, cowrie shells look a lot like the more personal parts of a female. Okay. And cowrie shells represent fertility, and they represent the exchange of families. Your family is all the people that came before you and all the people that will come in the future. That is all family. What's very, very important is to give some recognition of that. So you pour libations. Libations usually are some form of alcohol, and you pour libations for all the people that came before. And a very strong symbol is the symbol of Sankofa. It means go back and pick it up. And it is a bird flying forward, looking back. And the concept is using the past to build the future. Obviously, weddings are about building a future. And that's what all of this represents. It's taking things from our cultural past to help us move forward and build the future.
These traditional African customs were important to Charrell and Jermaine, but so was having a traditional Catholic ceremony and service.
They actually grew up together in the same parish and went to church together as children. Charrell and her bridesmaids finished getting ready with last-minute touch-ups. Charrell looked lovely, and I especially love her something blue shoes. Their late morning service at St. Margaret Mary was beautiful. Jumping the broom is probably easier when you're not wearing 4-inch heels. After a traditional receiving line at the church, the bridal party gathered for photos. The children all seemed to enjoy the attention, and with such a big family, there were lots of adults on hand to supervise. It was a good thing that Premier One brought the stretch limo. Charrell's ruffles would never have fit into a regular car. Not only did the dress fit, so did the entire wedding party. Coming up, it's time for the celebration at Ski Roundtop. So for Charrell and Jermaine, having 14 children at their wedding was no big deal. Most of them are cousins, and lots of aunts and uncles were around to keep them happy. But not everyone has this much family support. When Bryce asked me what I think about having children at their wedding, I let him know that it's a very personal decision. Is it a late evening formal affair? A grown-ups party with $50 dinner plates is probably not the best place for kids. But some brides won't dream of not having children at their wedding. When that's the case, I suggest using a childcare service. Definitely. Just Play PA specializes in providing childcare services at events on site. But they do more than just stick kids in front of the movie. They create an event for all kids. It can be kid-themed or match the theme of the adult party, but make it kid-size. They even do puppet shows and bring in clowns and do face painting. And who doesn't love a cupcake party? Yay! Now that's something that I can handle. Charrell and Jermaine's wedding day was gorgeous, with lots of sunshine and blue skies. And Ski Roundtop was a perfect setting for photographing the bride and groom. A reflection by Sherry spent over an hour getting great images of the couple. Diane and I used the break between the wedding and reception to put the final touches on the reception area. As predicted, lighting really transformed the lodge into a party room. This place looks great.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh my God, it's beautiful.
Cleans up nice.
Very nice. Huge transformation. Tell me about the lighting.
We had some lighting donated to us from Production Express.
Okay.
They do lighting and all different kinds of rental equipment.
It looks fantastic. Look at it.
Ooh, nice. I love it.
Do you like it?
Very nice, yes.
They actually put higher flowers in there and the hurricanes in there taller to give it a little bit of height.
I like it.
Then it was time for the next surprise. A ride to the top of the mountain on a ski lift. What a gorgeous view. Now that's something that not many venues in central Pennsylvania can claim. With all the pictures out of the way, it was time for the party. guests really enjoy the outside venue for cocktails and taking their own photos. The couple enjoyed a grand entrance and dance. After the traditional blessing, it was time for the tasting of the 4 elements.
So we have 4 different flavors that they will savor that represent different seasons in marriage. So the first element is the sour. We know, those of you who are married know that when you're married to somebody, that requires a lot of compromise, and a lot of times compromise brings a bit of sourness in our personalities. It's lemon juice. Continue to compromise, and that might make you a bit bitter. So we have vinegar. And you're continuing to compromise, and now you're mad, so you get hot. You want to jack him up, but you know you can't. You're mad. So the hot is cayenne pepper. All right. If you make it through the sour and the bitter and the hot, then comes the sweet. So we have honey.
Many of the guests have never seen the tasting of the 4 elements. There were also the more familiar wedding traditions, including throwing the bouquet and garter, and of course, the cake. The kids and adults also enjoyed the s'mores. And Charrell's sorority sisters treated her to a lovely song and send-off. And of course, lots of dancing. The couple really seemed to enjoy themselves, as did all their guests. Every culture has its own traditions when it comes to weddings. It's always fun to see how couples make them uniquely theirs. Weddings that include the unexpected with traditions are some of the most memorable. You just need to keep looking outside the box. See you next time on Dream Weddings. I hope. Guys, how do I get to this chairs to go down? Guys. Just play. Just play PA specializes on. They do more than just. They do more than just stick the kids in front of the movie. He proposed 11 months later, but they've known each other for 26 years. So I guess exactly they didn't have to. They do. Oh my God.